Do you guys notice anything different? I'm in my new place. Finally, this is the first video I'm filming here. Still trying to figure out like the angles and where I want to position my phone to film and all that, but I'm so happy you guys get to check out my new space. We're like pretty much all unpacked and we're still in the process of like getting all the furniture we need to get, but we have most things and I'm so happy with how it's turning out. But anyways, let me transition to what you guys are all here for, which is the recipes. So we're now in fall, aka pie season. Obviously, as we know, pies are delicious, but they're not very macro friendly. Like they're very high in fat, calories, not very high in protein, and a little slice is usually like an absurd amount of calories. So that's why I wanted to make 3 recipes that are essentially pies for one, that are way more macro friendly so you can eat the whole thing and it'll fit into your macros. So hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE. Welcome to my new place, and today we're gonna be filming 3 high protein, low calorie pie recipes for one. So we're gonna have apple pie, pumpkin pie, and key lime pie cheesecake. So if you're excited to see me make these recipes, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel and I post new videos every week. And with that, let's get started. Sorry, before I get started, I feel like the position of the sun keeps changing and I'm too lazy to go and like close the blinds. So this is what we're dealing with right now. So the first recipe we're gonna be making is pumpkin pie. So it's a pumpkin pie for one. Basically what I did for all these recipes is get those like little pie, I don't know what you call them. Like I'll show a picture of them here, but basically they're meant for like mini pot pies, but they work perfectly for all 3 of these recipes. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with pumpkin pie. Like for some people it gives them the ick, but I love pumpkin pie. I think it's like an essential part of fall. So as I've mentioned before, I moved into a new place. So now I'm living like actually in Vancouver as opposed to Burnaby, where I was living for like 2.5 years. And I'm just gonna say, like, my life has improved drastically just living in this location. Like, everything is just so much more convenient and easy. My gym is like a 4-minute walk away. Same with the boxing studio that I go to for my cardio boxing classes. It's like 3 minutes, and the grocery store is like maybe 6-7 minutes. And it's a smaller grocery store, which is good, honestly, because then I get my shops done faster and I don't end up spending more money on Instacart like I was doing before, because my other grocery store in Burnaby was so much farther. It was like this massive grocery store. So it had everything I needed, which was great. But then it took me ages to walk from one end to the other. And honestly, this grocery store has everything I need. And if it doesn't, then I could just go somewhere else on the off chance that it doesn't have what I need. So in this recipe, I use PE Science pumpkin flavored protein. Guys, you need to get your hands on this if you haven't already. It's perfect for like holiday baking, like fall baking. You're gonna be able to make so many recipes with it. So if you wanna purchase from PE Science, by the way, it's a whey casein blend, so it's perfect for baking. You can use my discount code FIT15, but otherwise, if you don't wanna use it, that's fine. You could just use any other protein, or if you don't have pumpkin protein, I'd recommend just using like snickerdoodle or vanilla. What I love about these recipes for one is that they're perfect for people who live alone. Like I was living alone for 2 years before moving with my boyfriend. Or even if you live with a significant other, like making 2 portions. Because as much as I love to make recipes that have like 4 to 6 servings, because those are good for meal prep or if you're cooking for friends or family, I know a lot of you guys are just living solo and don't want to waste food. I love topping my pumpkin pie with whipped cream. I feel like it makes it so much better, but it tastes perfectly fine on its own as well. Okay, so this next recipe is key lime pie cheesecake. Now I know what a lot of you are gonna say, like this isn't pie, it's cheesecake. And I know. The issue was making high protein key lime pie was just gonna be way too difficult. Like I just felt it wasn't going to have the macros that I wanted it to in order to post the recipe and make it useful for you guys. So we turned it into a cheesecake. Honestly, making this was a lot easier than I thought. You really just need limes, you need like lime juice, lime zest. The last time I've like zested something was a while ago and I forgot how to do it, and I was hoping I didn't need some sort of special tool. But you could literally just use like a cheese grater to grate the outside of a lime, and that's the zest. Protein cheesecakes are honestly easier to make than you think, and the macros are always amazing. The way that I make this cheesecake more macro friendly is just doing the crust at the bottom as opposed to doing it like all around the sides as well. And then obviously using fat-free cream cheese as the base. You can find fat-free though, that's fine. That was kind of a tongue twister, fat-free, fine. Philadelphia makes like a light cream cheese. I believe it's like 40% less fat, so that one's perfectly fine to use too. The macros of this whole cheesecake are insane. It's like under 400 calories, which is perfect because a slice of cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory is like over 1,000 calories. There are a couple things that I don't love about this kitchen in comparison to my old one. Like, I love this place overall and I love the location, but I will say the sink is smaller and the dishwasher is also smaller. So because I'm making all these recipes, I just find that the sink ends up like piling up. So I end up just doing loads of the dishwasher more often than I was doing before. But I mean, it's a small thing and I can definitely get used to it. There is one very important step of this cheesecake that I don't want you guys to miss. So for the egg whites, like you're gonna see in the video, but you have to beat them with an electric mixer, or if you don't have an electric mixer, like a whisk, just like really, really fast until stiff peaks form, and then fold it into the batter afterwards. This is super important because if you don't do that, then your cheesecake is gonna be more flat. Like, it'll still be edible and fine because I've made that mistake before, but if you want it to look like tip top, then you better follow that step. Speaking of an electric mixer, honestly, getting the clumps out of the cheesecake, it is harder without an electric mixer. But again, if you just use like some elbow grease, maybe like warm up the cream cheese a little bit, you should be fine even without one. Again, I'm topping this with whipped cream because that's just how I do. And I also put like a little lime slice on top just to make it look more cute. Last recipe we've got here is our apple pie. So this was the last recipe I decided to make, and I waited until the weekend to make this one when I knew I would have more time in case I screwed up, because I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to turn out. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've actually made an apple pie before. I did make an apple pie recipe on this channel, but honestly, it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to exactly, but I still ended up posting it, I guess. Anyway, so for this particular one, what I did differently was I used like a puff pastry. I know Pillsbury makes pie crust, but I couldn't find it in my grocery store, so puff pastry works just fine. Basically what I did was I rolled out a little piece of one, like as thin as I possibly could, and then I just put it around the edges of that like pot pie aluminum thingy that we're putting in the oven that I don't know the name of. And another thing that I did to make it more macro friendly is just doing the crust like around the bottom and not doing the top crust, which I know makes it not really like an apple pie, but we gotta make it macro friendly. That's what this channel is about. By the way, in terms of the apples to choose, Granny Smith apples are the best in apple pie. That's what the internet said, so I'd highly recommend just doing that. If you don't have that on hand, then maybe just use Pink Lady. Don't use those like red, I forget what they're called, like the red delicious ones, like that one. Those ones just won't cut it. What I like about this recipe in comparison to the first two in this video is that you don't need to wait for it to like set or cool down or put it in the fridge. It's just, you can eat it right when it's done, and that's what I would highly recommend doing, is eating it when it's out of the oven and pairing it with like ice cream or whipped cream or something. That's how it's gonna taste the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed these recipes, that I'm sure you're looking for more single serving desserts, so I'm gonna link a couple other videos here that you should watch next. And please be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.